Hey guys, today's topic I want to talk to you about an appraisal, what it is, why it's important, and what's the process like in ordering and getting one. For those of you who don't know me, or if this is the first time tuning into one of my videos, my name is Mike Colantone and I'm a loan officer with Geneva Financial, NMLS number 1662178. So to get started, what is an appraisal? An appraisal is an opinion of value by a certified or licensed appraiser specific to that loan program. Depending on what loan you're doing, FHA, conventional, VA, etc., you have to get a specific appraisal to that loan program. And the reason for that is because each program has different guidelines on what's acceptable and what's not. Again, this is a appraisal or opinion of value by a human being. This isn't something that's formulated from a desktop solution or a computer. This is an individual who's going to inspect the property, evaluate the property based on the shape that it's in, and comparable sales that were in a similar location. So an appraisal is important for several reasons. Reason number one is, again, the shape of the property. Is this property livable, and does it pass the guidelines specific to this loan program? Like I said, every loan program is different, and that would have to be another topic or video in itself on the shape and guidelines of each loan program and the appraisal. But does it pass? Reason number one. Reason number two, did we make value? So almost every lender out there is not going to lend based on anything more than what the appraised value is. So what I mean by that is, if you're under contract to buy a home for $200,000 and the appraisal comes in for $195,000, what usually happens is you have a chance to renegotiate the terms of the purchase, or sometimes the deal ends up dying, or you decide no longer to keep moving forward. The reason for that is, like I said, lenders won't lend based on anything more than what the appraised value is. So if you wanted to continue and buy that home for $200,000 and the appraisal came in for $195,000, you would have to come out of pocket for that $5,000 difference, and you would have to sign a disclosure stating that you are aware that the home isn't worth that value. Reason number three is, as a buyer, you want to know what you're getting into, right? So your home is not only a livable spot for both you and your family. You want to know, as an investment, is it worth more than what I'm buying for? What's my investment? Have I made a great purchase? Have I made a great decision? That's a huge factor in buying a home. Sometimes people don't always think of it as an investment side. They just think of it as shelter or filling a basic need for their family. So now that we've gone into what an appraisal is, why it's important from a couple different perspectives, lender, buyer, refinance transaction, so be it. I want to go into the process and how it's ordered. So step one, as a loan officer, part of my job is I have to send you initial disclosures. The main point of those initial disclosures is the intent to proceed. So when it comes to an appraisal, I cannot go ahead and order an appraisal without your intent to proceed as a buyer or a refinance transaction. Reason for that is they want to make sure that you really are serious about getting a loan, and we don't want to waste anyone's time, your time, the appraiser's time, seller's time, everyone's time. So from there, once I have the intent to proceed received, I can go ahead and order the appraisal through an appraisal management company. So this is a third-party service. The lender cannot facilitate or be in charge of hiring an appraiser or making sure that appraisal happens correctly. And this is for compliance reasons. This is to protect buyers and sellers from mishandled appraisals, shady appraisals, things that happened prior to the crash. But basically what you need to know is that's another third party that is in contact and is going to make sure that this is a true opinion of value and it's conducted in a fair manner. So once we received the intent to proceed, the order has gone through to the appraisal management company. What the appraisal management company is going to do is they're going to reach out to a couple appraisers based off the information provided and what type of appraisal is needed. Usually they won't schedule that appraisal until the appraisal payment is been given. So that's another thing. As a loan officer, I cannot accept payment, but what I can do is have you guys pay the appraisal management company directly. That way that money goes directly to them, and we've met compliance, and that way the appraiser can go out and do his or her job. Once the appraisal payment has been received by the appraisal management company, the appraiser is going to contact usually the seller, or if you're doing a refinance, they will contact the buyer directly and schedule a place and time to go ahead and do the appraisal. This is something that is made aware of in advance. So if there is an issue, like something needs to be fixed to meet that loan program guidelines, like I said before, you will have notice. It's not something where the appraiser is just going to show up out of the blue without you knowing and just go ahead and start doing an appraisal. From there, once we have the appraisal scheduled, the appraiser is going to go out there, do the inspection, and usually what happens is 1 to 2 days, maybe 3 days, depending on the complexity of the property and the loan program, you're going to get the appraisal report back. It's not something that happens on the spot when he's there at the property. What the appraiser does is they're going to take pictures, they're going to evaluate it fully, and then they're also going to do research and put together a full report as to what the comparable sales are in the area and what that true opinion value is based on their interpretation. Lastly, that final report is going to either be an as-is or subject to appraisal. So what does that mean? As-is means we're good, we don't need to fix anything. It's an as-is in good shape or form contingent on that loan program. Subject to means subject to lead paint, something along those lines. Either way, no matter what it is, it has to be fixed in order for this loan to fund and for the appraisal to be 100% complete. Usually what happens is a final inspection happens at a later date, and the appraiser makes sure that the conditions have been met from the subject to, and we're good to go. So guys, I hope that you guys have stayed tuned this whole time. I know this was a ton of info on appraisals. If you have any questions, please go ahead and comment and do so below. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this. I know this is a lot of info, and to be honest, there's even more that I could go into, but thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.